Not that there's not lots of stuff in that room too, but it might be a little bit distracting. I've never done in here actually. Yeah, I don't think I want to. Just gonna bring things to the other room here. He hasn't been out what he's doing for super long, but it's not super late in the evening, so I guess one thing I could ask here, I don't do it. The other person in the house does. Oh wait, I have the reminder here on the I mean, technically there's a couple questions here. That kind of looks cool. The way the sunlight's hitting the wall. Very interesting. It must be reflecting off shapes or something. Maybe that plant, I'm not sure. Um I'm just gonna put on the fan because I don't expect to be up here very long, but while I am it's kind of warm. Plus I'm hoping it'll cover up the noise outside. Yeah, this won't be likely a very long one. However, if people tune in and the chat is active, then maybe. Um, I just wanted to come and ask. Um, um, one of the things that I wanted to ask is kind of posted already in the posts section of this channel, not videos, written posts. There is that section, and I've utilized it not much, but a little bit. So the most recent one, the top one. Also, yeah, just kind of a general question um, as far as um, the theme of meditation videos go, whether you do them often or you are not one that's really tried them or thinks that you would do well doing them. What would what would have you interested in trying them? What do you think would yeah what do you think should be included? Twice this week I have came across a post on another site that has had a comment. Both were religious based, but I try not to go too strong on that so that more people can kind of connect with it. And some people may think that I shouldn't do it that way, but I think I should, so I will. Anywho, and there was somebody there for a few seconds. But anyway, basically, I mean, I keep a little bit of it in, you know, but basically, so I did one recently in the live tab that is a guy that actually has a thumbnail picture of a guy with a dog on a couch as the still thumbnail. And I'd be really curious to hear what you think of it. I did one probably 2 or 3 months ago, and there's somebody that just long enough to hear the description, maybe they went to find it. Who knows? I did one probably 2 or 3 months ago that was, I think I've done 3 or 4 that ended up having like a school days kind of theme. And I believe that school is going to be starting back in a number of places. So, and what I tried to make it very general, but I also was looking at my school days a little bit, I guess. So I don't remember much about it. I don't even know if when I went live with it, it was really my intent to do that. But I did it, and I'd be curious what you think of that. And then there was one about hope, finding hope, and possibly one about purpose. I don't remember if I know I've talked about that a little bit on this channel. If there's anything specific about that you'd like me to talk about and you'd like us to talk about, then we can do that. But so far I'm not sure if that's been a meditation thing we've done. So yes, just wanted your thoughts kind of for those type of videos. I was really hoping that somebody might come in and I mean, I don't know. I can't remember if I posted yesterday, even though it was just yesterday. I think I did, but I certainly haven't yet today, and it's 7:00 here, so in a couple minutes. So I know the other person in the house has intended to, but is really, preferring to be outside doing things. It's one of the last nice days of the season. And then just other things, and it just hasn't happened. That would be a great segue. And again, nobody's here hearing it while I'm doing it, but maybe after the fact. And I don't really have any other plans for this video unless people tune in and say stuff, or I sit and wait. Part of me thinks it's okay to have some short videos, and part of me thinks it also should be very obvious to people that if they can't watch the whole thing, they watch some of it and then decide whether they want to watch more of it later. I mean, so yeah, the only other thing that I guess I would ask, because I can see, just a moment. Reminds me of the post, actually. I can see that the other might do this soon. And so I just wanted to, I guess, gauge interest. I mean, there's so much on YouTube. Some videos are more popular than others, even with our channel. But I guess I just wanted to kind of gauge interest because I'm thinking to do so on, what was it that I guess it was that stuff, Perfumi. I think I had some in my hand and accidentally touched my mouth. Now, what I'll say is that I personally don't have that much interest in tarot cards. That and that. But and I mean, this is our channel, so we can do what we want on it. But I'm just curious how many people would be interested in a live tarot reading. I suppose I could also ask what time works best for you. We just kind of flew through a 3-day long weekend here in Canada. And so it would also depend. Weekends, honestly, would be best. If there's an upcoming weekend that you would prefer. Yeah, I don't know if possibly still at some point today. Like I say, we've got 5 or 6 hours still in the day. That's a lot. I got an appointment in a couple of days, so an event probably on the weekend. And I think around midweek next week, I'm hoping to have a gig, and then I think it's Thursday or Friday. I have a brief errand, so that is a specific time slot, and I know the date. So I have a few things coming up, but I'm still going to be fairly available to do videos. So whether it's this meditation video stuff that I'm talking about, and any ideas that you want to give me, including like lines that you'd like me to use. Like I can come up with some, and I also have a couple templates and somebody left. But let's see for a few seconds. Like I don't have any lines for you. I'm not a script writer. And you don't have to be, but just like, particular mantras or whatever that you find helpful, comforting, and such. I should look through a few of the screenshots that we took recently and see if there's anything still that I'd like to use in there. And then once I use it, maybe a little bit there for space reasons. And then I also found a video in a playlist that had the day Sunday in the title, and I forgot to watch it Sunday, so I'm wondering if I should watch it today or not. Anywho, yeah, I kind of want to get it off my chest that I did I could tell you just by my memory, just in case, because this might be a shorter one, and just so that people that see this, because YouTube is showing my videos to people. our videos to people. So just some of the things that have been on this channel recently. Or I no, I guess it's interesting. Like I've been kind of back to uploading things for the past. I don't know, somebody who's um, I'm gonna say 7 or 8 months maybe. And what's some of the stuff I've done? I've talked about healing and meditations. I've talked about aside from meditations. I've done music. Just the other day, I did a parody of a popular Radiohead song. I did a tribute to a friend of mine. We have three of you here. Welcome. Glad to have you here. I did a tribute to a friend of mine who passed away, who sang in her dad's band occasionally. And I sang along with the video. I'd monetize the video because I figured, why not? People want to send money. I won't complain. I don't really know. I have to figure out Cash App. That seems like a good option. All of them seem to take a cut. Right now we have PayPal, and you have to make a certain amount before you receive it. But the closer you get to that amount, the better then. I don't always select it, but sometimes usually it makes sense. And, things are kind of low income right now. I mean, it's not all about the money, but like I say, we won't complain if people send it to us. We're 3 to 1. Who do we got watching, and where are you watching from, if you'd like to say? And if you've ever seen the channel before, or how you came across it. But yeah, so I did this cover with her band. Maybe the instrumentation YouTube thought was the original. I was singing it, and I don't think I sound like Lynyrd Skynyrd. And then she was singing it, and I don't believe that band has a female singer. And I happened to have it monetized, and it happened to be a copyright claim happened to come on it from a few different things. And I was pissed, because it's kind of like, not that it's still special that I did it, and I hope people will enjoy it. And that was just the other day. But like it wasn't the original background. And so essentially I saw it as a cover, and lots of people do those. And if you have a song you'd like to hear, by the way, feel free to mention it in the chat. These days I'm never sure whether to put super chat on or not. And the person left. Maybe I'm talking fast. I feel like it a little bit, but fan funding, it says. That's what it calls it on my device here. But then the live chat has all. So as far as I'm concerned, that's probably the best one then. Yeah, so anyway, there used to be, but maybe there isn't any more way to kind of dispute it. So, and also that particular video didn't get a lot of notice. Didn't get noticed very well. And that and the parody were all in the same video. I feel like it did a couple other songs. I just can't remember what they are at the moment. In some ways, that it's been very random, the stuff that I've done on here. And you can go by the titles too, which I try and stick to. But sometimes I get rolling for a while because I have the time. Things are quiet for the first while, and I've seen it before where sometimes it does pick up in the chat, and people can tune in and that. And it's always the intent when doing the video, or at least for me it is. I mean, sure, after the fact, that's great too, but it's always the intent to have a bit of engagement and interaction while live. So I sometimes give it some time for that, and that kind of thing. But yeah, so, and sometimes honestly time flies, so, but and just like anybody, I mean, some people may be a bit more consistent, but just like anybody, some of my content is better than my other videos. However, that's up to the individual to decide as well. I mean, I don't think that anybody should I don't think that anybody should necessarily look at the numbers, which aren't sometimes accurate anyway, I've noticed, and maybe you have too. because, like, yeah, obvious reasons. But look at the numbers and decide whether it's something that they would like or not. I mean, we all have the ability to think to decide that ourselves. And I also would recommend, with me and anybody else, that sometimes you truly know really quickly. Other times you may think you do, but you know what? If I'm just saying, because I I know that people do it, myself included, sometimes. If you click away too soon, you might actually um, not get to appreciate some fairly worthwhile content and a fairly worthwhile person who you might actually like. Just say it. You know, I don't know. I feel a little bit funny saying it, but it is. It's true. And it's one of those things I think that we all sometimes need, that it's not necessarily bad to get a reminder of that sometimes. Right. Um, so, yeah, that said, um, I don't really have a whole lot else to say. I'd love to call the other person in the home in to do a bit on here, but so far it's been kind of quiet. He is kind of doing something else. And, wanting to, I mean, there might still be some nice weather days coming up. I think there will be. But then certainly once winter comes in, and then we have a couple of rainy, although today was supposed to be rainy and it really hasn't been, and warm too. We have quite a few, or yeah, once we get to winter, we're not winter people. Live in a very wintry climate, but I'm especially not. Uh, like where I grew up, we always had white Christmases and winters. There was a couple times a few times where we almost didn't, but we always did, and so that was kind of nice, I guess. But certainly not like how we get them here. And no, we're not going to say where. But yeah, so yeah. I was going to actually go live with a meditation tonight. And as I said, I was kind of inspired, but I didn't really feel like I had enough content. I don't think he did answer. I don't think that this one guy that I follow who does guitar meditation type things, I'd asked if I could use his guitar music. Unless I missed it, I don't think he did answer. But maybe he missed my asking. I don't know. Or was thinking about it, because there was a couple times where I noticed he looked like he was in deep thought for some reason. And I don't know if it was for that reason or not. Anywho, so yeah. And then but we have homemade tracks as well that G makes. So you can kind of be a part of the podcast, even if he's not around to actually be, which is kind of nice. I should look at some of our ones if I can. It should be easier on the computer, but I kind of prefer to do the live streams on the computer. So then it'd be probably best that if I played those, that they worked. And I looked a while ago. My friend passed away, and I was looking at old karaoke videos. I kind of did look under his, not so much, but that's been wonky on here. But I could look on the cell phone. So that might be something else I do in the coming week. And that could be very cool, because I'd be singing along with, like I say, other than the fact that he could be a part of it when he's otherwise at work or whatever, pretty much that. But I could also kind of do like harmonies with the vocals, and you could hear more than one instrument, yeah. So that's actually an idea I kind of like into. So hopefully you will also when I do it. Um, you know, at this point, I mean, I have a bit of energy, but I don't have a lot tonight. And I discovered a show I haven't seen in a while that I've been watching, and I kind of want to watch a bit of it myself. Um, I'm tempted to go for a bike ride, but I don't want to have any bike issues. I need to move pumpers and leave backpack because I'm gonna need it next weekend and maybe one other time. There's an event coming up at a park nearby, and apparently, and if that picture was recent, the cat looks very healthy. I think people were feeding it apparently, but there's been a cat in a park for about a month. Not a. I don't believe it's a park with a playground. Otherwise, I'm sure that somebody would have scooped it up a lot quicker. But it's just been hanging around there. And I'm going to be going there, but we have a dog that I don't think is great with cats, and I don't hate them, I suppose. I mean, I'm a bit more. I've had them a bit more in my life in the past few years, but not for about already 3 or 4 years because we've had the dog that long. Wow. Anywho, so looks like a nice Persian, or I don't know. I'm not good at cat types. Possibly a tabby cat. I don't know. Anywho, but yeah, at this point, it kind of feels like I'm just trying to trying to or it feels like it's going to start to be like I'm just trying to find things to put into this video, and maybe I don't need to put anything else into it. Like I say, whether that whole thought about with the long videos is obvious or not, people might be happy to see a video that's a bit shorter and be like, okay, this looks like something I could possibly, digest. All that being said, I have had a few short ones recently, and it's still hit and miss. But I want to conserve my energy now for if there's anybody here, and well, there isn't while I'm live streaming. And when somebody, this is the thing also, when somebody tunes in, I want to have something that I'm doing musically or spoken, unless there's somebody that's familiar with me and is likely to say hi and start up a chat anyway, or someone who's just random, and want to give some loving kindness and appreciation and such. But otherwise they're going to come here and expect me to be doing something, and I really don't have anything else to put into this. So I think on that note, I will wrap up. Some people are already on their Mondays, or actually, I guess Tuesday, because like I say, it was a long weekend. Some places might be on Monday. Some places are already on Tuesday. My goodness, they're like halfway through the week already. Well, we're only 2 days different than that, a little less than 2 days. But anywho, so yeah, hopefully everybody's having a good week. And say, if you are curious about more of our content, before I next post it, and I do trying to address the people in the chat, while I'm rolling, and any comments afterwards. I'm pretty good at that. Yeah, feel free to check out the other content, specifically in the live tab. That's more me on this channel, and also more of the recent stuff. But honestly and truly, anything that catches your eye. Just a reminder, what I kind of started this video about, that post in the post section, the top one, not video post. If you could check that out and comment, that would be great too. Okay, take care.